Coming to you from the sprawling metropolis that is in Ohio. I changed it up on you. I'm actually just outside the plant at work right now. I've got a few minutes before I have to get inside, so I thought I would take some time in the quiet of the snowy environment that we find ourselves in and give you a quick message. Most of it, well, the first message I want to put out there is reading is fundamental. Sorry, Derek. Now, with regard to the upcoming March 2nd Executive Committee elections, probably one of the first things I want to do is reiterate what I said before we even had the first round of elections back in May. And that is, stop and consider what role your personal biases will play when it comes time to vote. Sometimes that bias isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm hoping that you will all take time to consider who do you honestly believe is the best qualified and best suited for the office for which you'll be voting. We only have two contested races, chair and vice chair. Another point to consider is that while we have a spokesman with our communications director here in the Libertarian Party of Ohio, but the chair and the vice chair, they are the spokesman for the party. They are the first face people are going to look at when they're considering whether or not to get involved, to join the party. They are the ones who are typically at the forefront of any kind of major public, effort. Now coming up over the next year, we need to start looking at how we push, lobby, and take the fight to retain ballot access. And that's going to require making a presence at the State House. And in all those situations I just described, along with the day-to-day procedures that help keep the party going, behind the scenes, ultimately you need to ask yourself, who do you trust to be the adult in the room in any given scenario? Whether it's whether it's a matter of PR, whether it's a matter of conducting the meetings, whether we're talking about just interacting and rallying the troops at any given time. Who do you trust to be the adult in the room at those most important moments, those defining moments that we will have as a party? Yes, I'm going over my notes here. Now, after we've elected the top four offices, of course, it's going to be time to elect a new round of five members who will hold at-large executive committee seats. And all in all, I've got to say, though, over the last year, I have just been very encouraged and very upbeat about the nature of Libertarian Party of Ohio leadership. I think we've got some great people in all manner of elected and appointed positions. People have been stepping up. Very solid people have been stepping up into important leadership roles. The future is very bright for us. Now, when it comes to the at-large, these are people who are supposed to make sure that the will of the Central Committee is being observed by the Executive Committee overall. Now, sometimes this leads to a situation of herding cats. Well, it has in the past. My understanding is it hasn't been that much of a problem, which is fairly miraculous, over the last year. Let's keep that kind of thing going. We're going to have some turnover just because I'm aware of two people who have indicated they will not seek re-election to an at-large executive committee seat. And that's unfortunate, but it creates new opportunities for others who've been wanting to step up and take a leadership role. Now, I think the best thing we could do to avoid the herding of cats situation is maybe not elect any cats. That's not pointed at any particular individuals, but, stop and think before you vote. Who do you think will simultaneously adhere to the libertarian principles we all hold near and dear, while also being able to get work done on a month-to-month basis, which is how the executive committee meets. Now, one last thing I want to tackle before I sign off here is there's a somewhat old controversy that has been recirculating a little bit out there. Stems from some concerns that were raised during the fall. Now, the controversy I'm talking about, it originates from perceptions of whether or not procedure was properly followed with a couple of action items. Pro tip, if you're going to raise alarms about whether or not procedure was followed, make sure the manner in which you do this kind of resembles procedure. It might be helpful for your cause. Now, hopefully we can get moving forward and really get the party to the next level, which, of course, we don't stop there. The whole idea is ultimately the restoration of liberty. I have confidence in the people we have working on that right now. Let's keep the momentum going. I'm very proud to work with every last one of you. Let's keep up the good work. Let's bring liberty back to Ohio and then the rest of America. Peace, faith, and liberty, folks. And this is Don Kissick signing off.